Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm very excited. Do you know what today is? Today is Takeaway Tuesday. I'm so very excited to have you here. My name is Tina Kovergich, and if you can't say that, that's all right. You can always refer to me as Northern Stamper. If you have any questions, you can always drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. I will get back to you, or you can comment below. And today we are doing Takeaway Tuesday for August, and we are using package number 3. So if you have received a package from me, look for the one that says package number 3, and we're going to be using that. And along with that, we are going to be using this gorgeous Floral Charms Designer Series paper. I just love them. And I'm going to actually make 2 cards today with the same design so you can see what it's like using the variety of colors. And today we're going to be using this one with the really pretty flowers. I'm going to put that one aside. And you know what? I think I'm going to use this one with the peonies on it. And I'm going to show you some different ideas for that. If you like this designer series paper, I just love it. If you've been following along, check out the other side. If you've been following along, you can always order it with this number here from my store. My name is Tina Kovergich, and if you want, I can order it for you or set it up and then send you a link and you can look it over. northernstamper@gmail.com. These are great papers. I love them. They are so much fun. And like I said, take a look for your little package. Okay, I always put my little packages in these little boxes. Now, Stampin' Up! Has announced that they're moving away from these little hard cases and they're moving to something that is a little more smaller, kind of flatter, a hard type of plastic, which is more like an envelope, kind of like this. There we go. I'm going to look. This is not exactly the package it is, but it's going to look something similar to that. Okay. Don't forget that there is a sale going on at the moment. If anything you want to order is in the 2025 to 2027 in color, such as blends, designer series paper, card kits, anything like that. If it has any of the in colors, it's 15% off right now. Just wanted to let you know. So if you wanted to grab some paper, ribbons, embellishments, anything like that, now is the time to get it, especially the cardstock. It is on sale. So that's a little way to save a little bit of money, just to let you know. Now, I wanted to let you know, Takeaway Tuesday for September, we're going to be using, I got it right here, Gathering Together. It's a suite, so I'm going to be using this stamp set, the Gathering Moments. Oops, hold on. I'm also going to be using some of the embossing folders. See, these are little trees. These are really great. This is very cute. Some trees in there. We're going to be using that. And what I really like, we're going to be using, you can see I use these cases for everything. We're going to be using the dies that come along. So if you're going to order, let me know and I'll try and get you a little deal, maybe free shipping or something like that. There we go. And these are some of the dies that are in here. Now, these leaves are huge. Like, look how large that is. It's about the size of my hand. Very large. And when you look at the dies, see they got little holes in here, and you can actually weave some ribbon through that or twine, and it looks really cool. But it is very cool. So it's 5 weeks of this kind of suite we're going to be using. And I actually have only one package left. Now, this package contains all of the cardstock for Takeaway Tuesday. You can see it's labeled here. A 6x6 of designer series paper, some ribbons, and the embellishments. And that is $35. This is the last one, so if you would like to join in, let me know. You can email me, northernstamper@gmail.com, or comment below. It is going to be a lot of fun, and at the last week of the month of September, it is going to be a week long, Monday to Friday, of crafting challenges, games, fun, prizes, and so much more using this suite. So let me know if you have any questions. You can always pop them below and I will take care of that. Another thing we have coming up after the September Takeaway Tuesday, the Takeaway Tuesday for October is going to be using, oops, the Joyful Day Memories and More card pack in it. You get half a package of the Memories and More along with card bases. And they are actually really, really cool. Like, take a look at these. Like, if you want to make quick and fast um, cards, we're going to be doing some of that. And they're double-sided, and we're going to be using them. It's really a lot of fun. We're going to be using some of the card bases. There's that kind of pattern there in that color, and in this one, this is a crumb cake. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be making some cards with that. I've got some really great ideas. Again, Takeaway Tuesday is $25. Let me know if you're interested. Now, there is one more thing before we get started. I was so excited. I was working this week with some of these sentiments, and did you see my post? I realized that they were sticky on the back, and that made it a lot of fun. I have a class coming up, and we're going to be using the Mix and Match uh, Designer Series paper. It has tags and more. It's a lot of fun. And I've made, oh my goodness, 10 cards using all of this, and I've used every single ephemera item in this pack. It's a lot of fun. It's great. We are going to be using this. It's a lot of fun. And you get half a pack of this paper, the Mix and Match, and half a pack of the sticky sentiments, which are absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to show you just, these were the items I had left over. These were the last little bits of ephemeras that I had, that I just made these little kind of little tag, Christmas tag things. Now these are tiny, so these are like 3 by 3, but I had made full cards, and I made about 10 of them. And like I said, these were just the leftover pieces, so I just wanted to show you. It was a lot of fun using these, so let me know if you are interested, and that is a special online class. I really like these sentiments. They were easy and so easy to peel off and stick to a Christmas card. All right, let's get started. We are going to get started and using our Takeaway Tuesday package number 3, and I'm going to be making 2 cards. And good morning to everybody. Good morning, Liz. Thank you for joining me. Liz is my moderator, and she will answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much. Oh, I forgot to mention. Oh, did you get the new mini catalog? They were just mailed out. I have a few here. If you didn't get any, let me know and I will set some aside for you. The mini catalog, there's some great stuff in here you don't want to miss. Great for Christmas. Just comment below or drop me an email. All right, let's get started. So in the package, what you're going to see is a Mossy Meadow card base. So we have our Mossy Meadow card base. That's all set up. And there are pieces of, there is some petal pink cardstock right there. And that you'll see has an edge around it. And we're going to be using this as a mat. And actually, I'm going to get both out so I can do 2 at the same time. So let's see, get them both out. So there, I'm going to do one that's landscape and one that's portrait. So this is the portrait and this one's the landscape. Okay. So there's 2 pieces of this, one for the outside and one for working on the pieces for the inside. I'm going to tuck that one on the inside. Just tuck that on the inside. There we go. We have 2 ribbons. Okay, there is the Mossy Meadow in gold, which is absolutely beautiful, like really nice. Ooh, that is actually the nicer side of it. Okay, it's on that side. That's the Mossy Meadow in gold. And this is the petal pink. I love the little edging on this. I don't know if you can see that. So there's that. Make sure we got them on both. 1, 2. There we go. And in the packages, I had already pre-punched out a little sentiment tag, one in Mossy Meadow, which is the outside, and Petal Pink on the inside. Okay, 1, 2, and don't forget, if you look, there is some embellishments I just tossed in. If you have other embellishments you want to use, totally go ahead and use that. So this is for Takeaway Tuesday today. What I want to do is I'm going to be using some of the Floral Charms Designer Series paper. And right now I have them as 6x6, but I need to cut them down. Okay, so the first one I'm going to be using is this one with the flowers like this. And the other one is with the peonies. And what I need to do is I need to cut these. So I'm going to cut the first one because it's portrait going up and down. I'm going to watch which way the flowers go. And I need to cut it 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. Now, if you're doing landscape or portrait, this matters which way you're going to cut it. If you're doing portrait, which is long ways like this, the first cut we're going to do is 3 3/4. So this is a first cut for portrait, okay? Because I want it 3 1/2 tall. So first cut for portrait is 3 3/4. Let's do that and bring it in to 3 3/4. Okay, oops. Let's just move this off to the side. Oh. Okay. And so that's 3 3/4 wide. That is for portrait. And then I'm going to cut it to 3 1/2. There's 3 1/2. Okay. Now I want a piece like that. Like I said, I wanted to watch which way it goes. So that is portrait. Now, if I'm doing landscape, I have to do it the other way, which means 3 1/2 long. So 3 1/2 long by 3 3/4. So it just matters if you're doing portrait or landscape. These dimensions are exactly the same, but it just matters which way it goes. So you'll see as I lay it down, there's an edge all the way around. So just be careful on which one that you're doing and which way your items are going. What I want to do next is I'm going to take a look, and I like this on the back, and I'm going to use this piece. This is the piece we just cut off from that piece of Designer Series paper. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to be using that on this piece right here. See how it matches like that? It really works well. Now for this one on this side, oh my goodness, look. That is that Blackberry Bliss, and I'm actually going to use it on this side. Whoops. Now this piece is too small, so we need to cut it a little far longer. So, and that is 3 3/4. Again, this is the dimension to go across here. So let's go 3 3/4. What we're trying to do is get a piece that is going to go evenly across. So there we go. Now you can kind of get an idea of how the card is going together. Let's move some of this ribbon out of the way and the embellishments out of the way. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue down some of this Designer Series paper on that cardstock mat. Oops, let's get this out. We don't want to glue that down. Get these out of the way. And when I glue it down, I'm going to make sure that I have a nice edge around each side. So I'm going to take my Designer Series paper and I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to eyeball it, nice edge on the top, bottom, and the top and the left and the right. Okay, so I'm just going to go like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on here. If I want, I can place it right on top, again, watching the edge around to make a mat. Now this is a little, I don't know, it's dark, and I really want to focus on that designer series paper. So instead of placing it on top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck it underneath. So I'm just going to tuck this underneath like that because I want a little bit more of that other pretty paper on top. Okay, so just like that. So I want this to be a little bit more, less. This color is a very dark and it's very heavy and your eye is going to go to it. So I want to focus on the designer series paper. Now, this is for the portrait one. I'm going to do the same thing for the landscape one over here. I want to use this designer series paper, put a little glue on, and make sure there's an edge top, bottom, and on the right. Again, I'm going to take this piece that I had. I'm just going to tuck it under, line it up, have a nice edge on the top and the bottom and the left. Okay, right there. Now you'll see I have these seams and I have the ribbon. I'm not going to glue these down right away. I'm going to wrap the ribbons around. So first, I'm going to start with the green ribbon. Remember, I gave you two? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the green ribbon around first. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to go just below where the seam is and wrap it around, just below the seam. And if your seam is crooked like mine is, this is a great way to hide it. Okay, I'm going to tape it on the back. This is such a pretty color ribbon. I think this is going to be great for Christmas. So I've wrapped it around just kind of where the seam is. Okay, so I'm going to do that for both cards. Whoops, that one actually kind of goes that way, just so you get an idea. And let's wrap them around this one now. Again, I'm going to kind of go just under the seam. Oh, Christine, I'm glad you're able to watch this live. It's been a while since I've been able to watch with you. Thank you for joining me. There we go. Please say hello to May for me, Christine. I'm sure she's sitting right beside you. All right, so we got the ribbons wrapped around the seam. Now remember, there was a longer piece in here. This is where a trick comes in. I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to wrap it around. Now I want to have enough that I can cut off and make a bow. So I'm going to take this, wrap it around, and I'm going to just go above that ribbon. So there we go. You can see it is just above the ribbon. And I want to have enough left over to make a bow. So do that. And I'm going to do this for both of them at the same time. Okay, just like that. So let's leave that like that so you can see how much ribbon I got left. Okay, again, I'm going to take this, wrap it and tape it. Oops. Oh heavens. The tape is taping everywhere. All right, just wrapping it around just above that green ribbon. Who says you can't use more than one ribbon in a card? Okay, there we go. Look, see how that is going together? Now, I don't want these to move around, so I'm not wrapping any more ribbon around, so I'm just going to glue these down at the moment. This way, they won't get lost in the shuffle here. Toss that on there. There we go. And place this one on here. So it really doesn't matter if you do it landscape or portrait. It is totally up to you. This is a very simple design card. I'm sure you've seen it before, but I thought it was really cool with the two ribbons. So before I add my bow, I'm going to stamp my sentiment because, you know, I want to get that down first and then kind of decide on where the bow is going to go. Now, what I'm going to do, there's the inside sentiment portion, and I'm going to be stamping it in Blackberry Bliss. The reason I'm doing that is because that's one of the colors that is in this designer series paper. And I think that will pick up really nicely. And I'm going to use, you know what? I'm going to use this stamp set from the Beautiful Blues kit. Did anybody get the Beautiful Blues kit? I made like a ton of cards using that kit. Oops, he fell on and off. There we go. And I found one that fits kind of in there, so I laid it down first before I did it. So I'm gonna ink it up with the Blackberry Bliss ink, and I'm just gonna toss it in there. Ah, look at that. Oops. There we go. Can you see it? Oh, that's so pretty. It says sending love. Now you can always use another one that says like thank you. It is totally up to you. But you know what? I really like that one from the Beautiful Blues kit. I'm going to do that for both of them. That kit turned out really cool. Great for sentiments. I made a whole bunch of card alternatives. It was a lot of fun. Okay, let's glue those on to the little frames that I have punched out for you. Okay. Oops. Oops, I was a little off. Okay. There we go. We got our sentiment, nice little edge around. And I'm actually going to put this down first and then do the bow. I'm going to actually add in some dimensionals to give it some height. Now, if you want, if you have any dies or anything, you can add some kind of like sprigs or leaves behind here to add a little bit to help offset, you know, kind of give it some design there. I'm just going to put it on like that and place it here. Okay. There we go. That one like that. And let's see if we can make a bow. Oh, look at that. This ribbon makes bows very, very nice. I'm going to tuck those in really nice. And we are going to get our little glue dots and glue down our bow. This ribbon is so pretty with this. There we go. And shall I put it here? I think I'll put it here. I don't know. Where am I going to put this one? You know what? I'm going to move this up a little higher. There we go. Whoops, a little higher. And then this way I can stick the bow right underneath. I think it needs a little bit more. Tighten that up. And you know what? I want to make sure that it stays. I'm going to stick some more glue dots kind of under the tails of this ribbon, just so, you know what, so it doesn't go anywhere. I want to make sure that it sticks. There we go. There's one. And let's make another bow for the other one, or you could do a shoelace knot if you want. It's a good bow day, apparently. There we go. Here we go. Okay. And we will place that on the portrait one. I'm going to place it right on top. Oh, apparently it's sticky. Oh, it's so sticky. Here we go. I think it's a little long. Just trim that up a little bit. Go. And I'm just going to add a glue dot under each tail just to make sure it doesn't move. And all that we have left to do is add our embellishments. Oh my goodness, look how those are turning out great. Oh, yeah, we have the insides to do too. Oh, okay. All right, let's get some embellishments. And I'm just going to pop these on here just for a little. Oh no, a little design. There we go. I'm going to put some on this one. These ones are slightly different. I just went through my stash and just looked for matching color embellishments. Who says you have to use brand new all the time? Okay. Oh, why not? Got some more. There we go. And let's glue the inside because this dark cardstock, if I just leave it like that, you can't really see any message that you write on the inside. And we'll just place that on the inside like that. There we go. And there we go. We have two cards. Same design, but just shifted a little differently. Oh, I love this paper. But then, you know what? I love any designer series paper that Stampin' Up! Has. This is a really great, simple card design that you can replicate with anything that you have. So if you have something in your stash, just grab it to find something that coordinates. So look in the paper. So this green coordinates with that. Look for something that coordinates, and you can't go wrong making the cards. So look for something, look for a color. And if you're doing this kind of card, maybe instead of going light for the bottom, make sure you go a little bit darker. It kind of sets off the pieces a little bit. Let me know what you think, if you prefer the portrait or the landscape version of it. These are absolutely fantastic. I just love designer series paper. Don't forget to join me each Tuesday as I'm going to show you how to make a card. Now, you can always use whatever you have in your stash, but if you want to make them exactly the way I have it, don't forget to sign up for Takeaway Tuesday. I try and keep the pricing low, which includes taxes, shipping, and everything that you need. Comment below or drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow me. Hit that follow button. I do post once a day or thereabouts. I try not to do more than that. Anyways, have a great crafting day. I hope this has given you an idea of what you can make with your stash. Take care and have a great day.